So who am I, right? So my name is Victor Garcia. For those of you that do not know me, from Central Texas, I am born and raised. I came from hardworking immigrants, you guys. I started working at a very young age, at the age of 12, working manual and hard labor, right? And it's not, because I didn't want to. It's because my parents were trying to teach me a lesson, right? They were trying to teach me how to earn $1. And I learned very quick. I learned very, very quick, you guys. And my parents made it very clear that it was either a higher education or hardworking labor, right? I mean, that's just how some parents are. That's how I was raised. How I got here, you guys. So at 16 years old, I started to realize that hard labor, it sucks, you guys. If there's anybody that works in the mechanics field, I'm actually a tire tech to this day. I am a supervisor at my dad's tire shop, but manual labor sucks. It's horrible. It's the worst thing you could do for your body, especially. I was tired of physical labor, and I was like, dude, there's got to be another way, right? There's got to be like something else that we can do, right? And that's when, at the age of 16 years old, you guys, I saw Paul's post. Paul and I got connected with Paul and Brandon Pham. I still remember to this day. I shot them a text messages. We got online. We started calling, texting. But you know what? There was a problem. I'm 16, you guys. I can't do nothing. What can I do, right? I can't even, start a business. I can't do anything. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. Kind of forgot about ATM machines and went into vending machines. And you guys, if you ever had vending machines, they are an absolute disaster. And let me tell you why. You got to worry about the food expiring. You got to fix the parts, etc. You got to go on. Seriously, it's horrible. Believe it or not, I'm from Texas, you guys. So barbecue is a staple in Texas. I was pretty dang good at barbecuing at the age of 16. I loved what I did. I loved barbecuing, but it got in the way of football. I love football. I love playing football. Getting serious, you guys. So at the age of 17, me and my girlfriend, Krista Robert, we were expecting a child at the age of 17. I was a junior in high school, you guys. A junior in high school, finishing off. At the junior year, in my junior year of high school, you guys, I wanted to join the military and not even go into my senior year. Basically, opt out. I tried joining the military. Unfortunately, senior year came along. It was too late for me to join. I went into detailing. Car detailing. It was good. I love it. It's art. It's amazing. It's not a one-man job. And at the time, I was more of a perfectionist, so I paid attention to every single detail. Every single detail. That did not work. It sucked. I got a second night job. Mind you, these were all separate, right? I'm not doing these all back to back, right? I got a second night job, right? It was a tire warehouse job. So basically I was working at a tire shop, which is my dad's, during the day. And at night I would go to my night shift job. And I even tried real estate, you guys. There's this thing called wholesaling. I don't know if you guys know anything about it. It's a piece of crap if you don't know anything about real estate. You're basically at the bottom of the food chain and you got to work your way up. Next was our baby. I had my son at 18 years old, senior year of high school. I tried joining the military again because I was absolutely running out of options. It was bad. I ended up not being able to join the military at the end because whenever I was a year old, I had lung surgery as a baby. I had lung surgery. I had a piece taken out of me. I had pneumonia. I almost died. As a baby. I felt absolutely hopeless. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was like, okay, maybe my dad and my mom were right. Maybe it was a higher education or, work the fields, get my hands dirty. And I felt completely hopeless. Turning 19, you guys, I learned a lot of stuff, man. I learned a lot. That's when I met my mentor. His name is Vincent. I'm sure a couple of you guys met him. He's a great guy. And I talked to him for, not too long, maybe 30 minutes. And the initial investment was absolutely horrifying, you guys. My dad didn't pay me very good. You know, my parents at the time, you know, they have their business going, but they have money, not me. That's how we seen it. That's how I grew up. And at the end, I ended up making the decision. It was a hard one, but we ended up making it. I completely bet on myself. Where I am today, you guys, 20 plus accounts, I gained financial freedom. I spend more time with my family, and I'm here today inspiring some people as well, especially the young bucks. And if I did it that says 18, but it really was 19. And if I can do it, you know, at 19 with a newborn, so can you guys. Like, seriously. And, you know, this business has changed my life completely. Now, let's get into the juicy stuff. Landing your dream accounts. So in today's topic, I'll be talking about preparing with purpose, approaching with courage, and creating urgency and close. First off, I'm going to throw this in just because it is about preparing to prospect, right? So what I did was, and I think you guys want to write this down. This is good stuff right here. So what I did was I went to Google, right? And I started searching up local businesses near me, right? Specifically Mexican restaurants. And what I did was I made myself a customer. I called them. I'm like, hey, asking them questions about, you know, the menu and all that. And I was like, hey, you know, by any chance, do you guys have tacos de asada? And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. And we go ahead and make that. I don't make the order. I just say, cool, right? At the end of the phone call, I asked them, do you guys take card by any chance? And if they said yes, we wrote them down on a piece of paper, right? Either way. If they said no, we wrote them down and put, quote unquote, urgent. I wrote urgent, and whenever it was time to prospect, those urgent guys were the first ones we went to. They were a priority. Not necessarily saying, you know, we got to go today, but they were a priority to me. Preparing with purpose, you guys. Research in the community. Keep it local. This goes on to target what you know. Keep it familiar. Let's say if you have like an ethnicity or like a cultural background. For example, I'm Mexican. I go to Hispanic businesses, Latino. I speak Spanish. Hablo español. I speak Spanish. So that's where I go to because that's what I know. Approaching with courage. You guys go in with excitement, you guys. Don't go in all slouchy, lazy. I don't want to do business with somebody that's all lazy and, you know, talking to me like, oh, okay, how you doing, right? Dude, go in there. Go in there with some courage. Like you actually care about your business. A lot of people have the mindset, I'm like, oh, okay, I have this job, right? It's my side hustle. Yeah, treat it like a job. It's not just a side hustle. Treat it like a job. That's where a lot of people mess up. You know, body language, hold your head up high and chest high. You know, stop, you know, leaning in. Dude, go in there. And start a conversation person to person, not salesman. Don't go in there as a salesman sometimes, because sometimes, you know, I go in there and just start having a conversation. And I actually have a story about that. I went in there one time at a business. The business is called Taqueria Durango. I went in there, you know, just going in there as a regular guy, right? And I asked, hey, where's the owner by any chance? And everybody, I kid you not, there was like 7 workers there. 7 workers, right? No, there wasn't 7. There was less than that. It was like 4. Anyway, I talked to almost every single one individually. And I was like, hey, do you guys know the owner by any chance? They're like, nah, we just work here. After digging in and having a good conversation with one of those guys, I was talking to them not even about merchant services. I was just talking to them about life, you guys. And you know what ended up happening? It turned out that all those guys working there were the children of the owner. It's crazy. It's crazy. Create urgency and close. This is one thing a lot of people do in the early business when they're barely getting into merchant services. A lot of people go in there and they give them a flyer or a business card. Listen, I don't ever recommend you doing that unless they're ready, right? But I always say, never rely on them to schedule the appointment. You guys, that is your job. So if they ever tell you guys like, hey, I'll give you a call back. Dude, bullshit. Don't expect them to call you back. That is not their job. That is your job. And schedule the meeting usually on the spot. And basically what I mean by saying that is, be like, hey, I can squeeze you in at this time. Create urgency by saying, okay, I have a stacked, appointment list this whole week. Let's say, for example, he's saying, or the customer saying, I can get you in maybe Monday or Tuesday. You could be like, hey, just check your phone for a second. Man, Monday and Tuesday, I'm slammed. Create an urgency, like you're important. Because you are important, you just got to show the value. And end up telling them, hey, and you don't even have to have anything on Monday or Tuesday. Just, create some urgency to let them know that you're busy, but that you could squeeze them in at the end. This recipe equals 11 accounts in 3 months, you guys. My first 3 months of business, I ended up closing 11 accounts. And yeah. Thank you, guys. And to say that I was scared is an understatement, an absolute understatement, you guys. And I'm very proud of where I am today. And I think that I wouldn't want it any other way, honestly. God, God's timing's always perfect. This is what I like to say. It's never too late. It's never early. It's always on time. The reason I say that is because I tried all these businesses as a young buck. I was 16 years old when I wanted to start a business. 16. I am 20 today. I turned 20 in October 7th, 2025. I wanted to do all these things, but guess what? God led me in the right path. He sure did. And I couldn't want it any other way, honestly. And I'm blessed to be here, and I'm blessed to have this opportunity here today and to be speaking in front of you guys here today. And my recommendation to a lot of you guys is to take your first steps today. And you don't need perfection, you need momentum. I think a lot of people that get in this business, they try to be perfect. You guys, you're not going to be perfect. My first account, you guys, I was Vince? I was like, 2 weeks into the business, barely locking in. And I went up my first account. It was like, how was it? I went and I drove over there. I was in my truck for a couple of minutes. I shot Vince a text message and I was like, dude, what do I do? And finally I got out. And, back then I didn't know much about merchant services. I was just like, hey, my name is Victor Garcia. I'm a local here in Waco, Texas. And, I was like, free terminal, right? I immediately just started pitching and saying, yeah, all this and that. The next day, I end up getting a call from Bersaín Ovalle Escobedo. He is the owner of the business. And he was like, hey, I heard you're the metal. And I was like, yeah, that's me. I'm the guy. I'm the terminal guy. We went over there. I went over there and scheduled an appointment. And when we scheduled that appointment, we sat down and closed 3 accounts. And, to be honest, your first 10 accounts are closer than you think. I mean, just check your circle and, educate yourself a little bit more about the systems and all that. And this field is for absolutely anybody. You guys, you can join in this industry. And if you guys want to take a break for a month, cool. I mean, it's up to you guys. It really and truly it is. I think that might be it. I think. Hold on. Yeah, that's very awkward. Yeah, it's not working. Is that it? Yeah, because there should be another slide. Oh. They're still like 15 minutes in. I was like, dang, okay. Hey, I think that might be it.